Moving on, baseball playoffs.
My goodness.
I'm a huge baseball guy. Big Braves fan. I haven't talked about it much. We haven't really talked about it too much because we kind of talked about this early on in the cast. Baseball is exciting in the beginning because it's fresh, it's new, right? It lets us know that spring is here.
Yeah, summer's around the corner.
The Super Bowl's been over for a little bit, right?
Yeah, there's no sports really. I mean, you got basketball, hockey, but
they're in a weird part at that time too.
Yeah,
they're starting to hit the playoffs right around that time, around April.
Yeah,
right. So it's a nice little fresh.
You have spring training. Like that's like the best name for like the introduction of a sport. It's just spring training.
You get excited for it.
Yeah,
right?
it just feels crispy. Like as soon as you hear the term spring training, you immediately think the days are longer, the air is crisper.
I love it.
There's no clouds in the sky.
Yep.
It's like the first time you heard the Beatles. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
that's baseball in April. And then you hit a Lutz.
And then you hit the summer when it's 100 degrees.
Nobody cares anymore.
Nobody gives a shit.
Right. And then we hit September. Then it's that fresh air. The football's back. You got a little cold coming through the nostrils.
Yeah.
Right.
Little football starts.
You're getting excited. But then also, too, you get those late night weekdays because it gets dark early. So what are you going to go do besides go sit inside and watch a little bit of playoff baseball?
Baseball is what you do. And then they have a cool thing. It's better than it has a better term than the NFL playoffs. It has a better term than the NBA playoffs. It's the pennant race.
Okay.
The pennant. It's a race for the pennant. Oh, that's a whole different. I'll tune in for a race to the pennant. Playoffs.
Playoffs.
Everybody has playoffs.
The race to the pennant.
The race to the pennant. That's what I will tune in for.
I love it.
Here we are.
So we've got 7 games left in the season. And we're going to talk about my team, the Braves. You guys see behind us there. We got, the little helmet. I'm a huge Braves fan. They're 1.5 game ahead of the Phillies going into it. And they have a 3-game series left with Philly.
Yep.
So that's going to be massive.
I will tune in for that.
Massive. Every game should be on ESPN because basically how these guys, this division is so shitty. They have 82 wins. The other divisions, the Brewers, they've already solidified first place with 93 wins. The West Division is 99 and 101 with the Giants and the Dodgers. They've both locked in the playoff spot. They're facing for whether they're going to be a wild card or the number one seed.
Yep.
Could you believe that? And we're facing for the number 1 seed with 82 wins.
I think you guys just cleared 80.
So there's one spot left in the wild card, which right now the Cardinals have it, and they're 5 games above us and the Phillies. So, or 4 games in front of us. So I'm going to say, look, wild card's out of the question. We have to beat Philly.
You have to. Those 3 games, that stretch is going to be critical.
It goes Philly, and I think we have the Mets for 3 more after that.
Which I think should be
pretty cake. Yeah, so it's going to come down to
just take the series. I don't think you don't have to sweep it.
No, we have to take the Philly series basically because then it's going to be us to lose it essentially.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting to see how that plays out for the Braves. I'm going to be dialed in. We play the Padres tonight, and then 3 in Philly, and then it's October baseball. And look, October baseball, anything can happen. So it doesn't really matter what your record is at the regular season.
Yep.
Once you're at the dance, it's ball. It's ball.
Again, that's one of my favorite things about baseball is it starts out, it's spring, right? Spring training, but it's still cool.
Yes.
In like New York and Boston. So they start the season wearing long sleeves, and then they get into the dead of summer, and they are hotter than balls. And everybody's just like a 9-game. Baseball game is
9 inning game, yeah,
9 inning game. It wears them out.
Yep.
Because it's 100 degrees, and then they get to. But that's the only sport that I know that they start in long sleeves. They can't possibly wear less clothes if they wanted to, and then they end in long sleeves and they're all bundled up.
Yeah, it ends in a hoodie.
Yeah, I love it.
It's beautiful, and that's what I love about it too. Is just kind of the change of it. And so that's on that side, and then the other side, basically all that's really kind of going after is the Red Sox and the Yankees, which is always a great series.
Always.
The Rays have already locked in a playoff spot. Right now, the 2 wildcard teams is the Red Sox and the Yankees. Perfect world, we have that wildcard game happen.
I would love that.
That would be,
yes,
oh my
gracious.
goodness, would that not be an amazing wildcard playing game?
And they've had a great series this weekend.
They did. And right now, if wherever it would be in Boston if it were to end today.
Yep.
The game would be, they own the tiebreaker. They're in the 1 seed. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out too. I'm excited. I hope. And the Blue Jays are playing for a spot. The Red Sox play the Blue Jays coming up. It's going to be a crazy 7 games. And we haven't, for baseball, for me anyways, the last 2 years were kind of weird. Last year, they changed the playoffs a little bit, so a lot more teams got in, so there wasn't really a race in a sense. And there wasn't a wildcard game. It was a wildcard series. This year they're back to the wild card game. It's a bigger race. It's a little more tense right now.
See, you're using the term. See, it gets in your head. It changes the whole dynamic.
It's exciting. We haven't, like I said, baseball hasn't had this kind of closeness in a while. I feel anyways, just at the end, with only 7 games left. Usually it's pretty determined by now.
Do you want to make a bold prediction? What do you think with the Braves? Are they in?
I'm thinking they're in. And here's why I think they're in.
Go.
Okay, we've been going. Ryan, he's a big Braves fan as well, so we shoot back and forth with one another. Like, oh, we're going, we're not going, we suck. We're great, we suck. Last night we won in overtime against Padres. Padres are a phenomenal team. Now they've choked and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They should be a lot better than what they are.
Should be with that payroll.
But it doesn't matter. Fact of the matter is, we went into their stadium, went into extra innings, and pulled out the W, winning 10-8. Huge momentum builder because they knew how big that win was. Padres know how big that win was for them. They needed that just as much as we needed it because they're fighting for the wild card spot too. They have
a shot.
Yeah, they're only a few games back as well. I think they're about 5 or so game backs too. So they're fighting for that as well. So both teams were fighting for life, and for us to pull it off, I think that's that click that we needed to kind of get the ball rolling again. Baseball is all about being hot at the right time. We've been hot for a while, which concerns me a little bit too.
Because you feel like it'll tail off the wrong
but
time.
this almost like we hit that second win, like that Brian Ortega feeling where it's like
it's straight zombie.
We're just zombie mode. We are flying. So last night really made me feel good. Like we're gonna pull this off. We're gonna go take Philly. I think we got it.